Hey guys, Rasheed Philips here, and welcome to This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue-focused podcast that's traveling everywhere. Right now, I'm just getting back from Sunfest 2024, which celebrated their 40th anniversary. And if you are unfamiliar with Sunfest, it is a musical festival that takes place in West Palm Beach. As I mentioned, it's been going on for 40 years, but I'm not here to talk about the music. At this festival was some amazing food, and one of the standouts was Mr. Rick Mace of Tropical Smokehouse, also Tropical Barbecue Market. Rick and I have been internet buddies for some time now, and finally had the opportunity to sit down and talk about all things barbecue, the passion, how he's cultivating and making such a huge difference in the world of barbecue in his region. We talk about the fact that there is barbecue located outside of the state of Texas, which I know for a lot of people that is a very hard concept to accept, but I'm here to let you know it is very much true. And we talk about how he listens to the community and the people around him, because he did open up, I know this may sound blasphemous, but once again, follow me here. He did open up a barbecue establishment without brisket. Gasp. I know, it is, it's mind-boggling, right? But as I said, Rick is focused on creating a barbecue culture that is very relative and close to home to where he's based in West Palm Beach. They don't really got cows out there, so it's not that big of a deal to have a brisket or a Texas forward menu. And that was a weird thing that I did see, right? One, there are, like, you can throw a rock and hit barbecue establishments around there. They're popping up like Starbucks. But what really stuck out for me in regard to Rick in Tropical is the fact that he's cultivating something that's familiar to the natives of the area. Smoked fish, a lot of Caribbean-based dishes. As you'll see, I discuss, he did a smoked curry chicken with roti that was like, ooh. And let's not sleep on the sides, because the coconut peas, those are dangerous. The whole menu's a hit. You'll hear about it very, very soon. But Rick talks about the love, the passion, and, going off the beaten path. And a lot of the other vendors and the people that I saw in the area and the establishments we visited all started with the same thing on their website or their social, which was really, really weird to me. All started with Texas-style barbecue, as if though they were afraid to put their own twist and take on barbecue and just call it Florida style. But that's not for me to decide or to judge. It is just for you to enjoy, listen, and let me know what you think about Rick and I's sit down. Let me know if you'd like to see a little bit more of this type of information on This Week in Barbecue.
You guys should already know who I am, but I'm Rasheed Philips, and welcome to This Week in Barbecue. And this week we are in West Palm Beach for the 40th anniversary of Sunset Fest. And the gentleman to my left, we've been talking online for, I feel like we're internet pen pals.
Yeah, we definitely are. We're in a long-distance relationship.
He just won't claim me on Facebook.
We're here in sunny South Florida, and this is our first kind of entry into Sunfest as well. But, what we wanted to do is just bring our barbecue from Tropical and just be a part of the scene here. And then also we got to work alongside y'all for the VIP event as well. So it's been a pretty complex day. I had to go on film at 7:30 and then had to prep for VIP, get the restaurant open, slide back over here. So, we keep it shucking and jiving,
Always moving, staying loose, but let's run it back a little. For those who aren't aware, introduce yourself. What do you do? Where is it at? And where can people find it?
So my name is Rick Mace. I'm the chef and smoker of Tropical Smokehouse and Tropical Barbecue Market here in West Palm. We are Florida's craft barbecue, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
We started here a few years ago and just wanted to open a Florida barbecue joint, focusing on smoked fish and kind of more like local flavors. So we started dabbling a little bit in Caribbean and a little bit in Latin and put this menu together that has all these kind of familiar notes from South Florida in a good way. And then we added a couple things along the way to make our customers locally really love us. We had to have that co-creation period once we opened the restaurant. So we added some brisket to the menu, and I asked for their forgiveness. I said, listen, I didn't have a brisket on the menu because I'm not really from Texas and I don't cook brisket, but if it makes you happy, I'm going to cook you a brisket. And what we're going to do is make a coffee barbecue sauce, like cafecito, like that Bustelo coffee, and make a nice strong, like, kind of hat tip to Aaron Franklin. Like his espresso barbecue is like one of my favorite combinations with the brisket, And so we do some fun stuff like that as well. And, we've been luckily opening another restaurant here downtown. So we have Tropical Barbecue Market and Juicy Cocktail Bar. Not to relentlessly self-promote, but we just opened that less than a year ago. And so now we have a daytime option for the people that are on their work route downtown. And then post-work, we've got the cocktail covered as well.
Yeah.
And we've been just kind of like trying to expand here close to home and just see how we can be more useful to people and different ways, packaging things and having more takeout, more quick serve, and then see what we can do that people are really gravitating towards and just do more of that, lean in a little bit.
No, I love it. And this is a podcast all for self-promotion because we want to highlight those in barbecue. We want to highlight, spread the word, let others know that barbecue does exist outside of the state of Texas.
It's true. It's true. I don't want to get too, philosophical about it, but barbecue is something that everybody has, access or a right or a style or a history or a story or some tie to it. And that was very much so here in South Florida. The first pigs that DeSoto brought over, the bucan and everything else that went along with that. There's a very cool history of barbecue here in Florida. One of the things that's specific to it is smoked fish, so we definitely wanted to work with that a lot. So we went over to the West Coast. There's a place called Ted Peters, and it's this amazing roadside joint. The city has kind of grown up around it, so it definitely feels like you're in a little bit of a land caught in the past. But they just do simple smoked fish with warm potato salad, horseradish sauce, tomatoes, sliced onion, and lemons, and that's it. That's the whole menu basically. They do a burger and stuff like that if you're not into fish, but that really kind of inspired us to go forward with our whole concept. So smoked fish dip is a big Florida thing. We started playing with some different flavors like lemon pepper cobia. We do a barbecue salmon, even though that's not one of our local fish. It's the gateway fish. If people haven't had smoked fish before, we definitely want to get them on the salmon because that'll get them in the door. We do some smoked mahi too. And, if we have time, we'll work on some grouper curries and things like that. And it's just we're kind of weaving together this tapestry of all these ideas that funnel back into the idea of Florida barbecue. So, that's something that I've had really the most satisfaction or fulfillment out of. I left kind of high-end restaurants after a pretty long career to do this and an expression of what I wanted to cook. And that's kind of the most meaningful part of it is being able to show people what it is and they gravitate towards it and they get into it and the restaurants are getting busier and it's actually putting this on the map and telling the story. And that's I think the most useful thing I can do is just continue to bring the food to the table and allow it to unfold.
No, I agree. I love it. We went and had lunch at the barbecue market, and I think we cleared 3/4 of the menu.
I think you and I missed each other 4 times in 2 days before we finally connected, yeah.
And I just have to say, brother, I'm loving what you're doing over there.
Thank you.
It was amazing. The smoked curry chicken with roti spoke to me.
I love that. My favorite, if I can just get carry out here in West Palm, you got to drive a little bit south to get it, but there's a place called Curry Tabanca, and it's a Trini place, and they've got curry duck, curry goat, curry chicken, doubles, all of it with the pepper sauce, tamarind sauce. It's this amazing, and it's this really, really humble place and the most amazing food. I started going there so often that finally I introduced myself to the owner.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, you don't know me, but I've been cooking in this town a long time, and some people might think that I'm good at what I do, and I'm here to tell you that you're one of the best chefs or cooks anywhere in these parts. The food's amazing. And so 2 weeks later, she came to Tropical with her family and ate. And so I asked her, I said, do you think next time we do a festival, you could come and make doubles? And she said, I'll come, but I'm going to make curry, crab, and dumplings. And I said, okay, I'll take you up on that. So, you know, like, that's like, I like that kind of like freshness. And there's like good Jamaican, like I go up off of 45th, yet same thing. It's like all of the curry goat, curry duck, and it's like rice and peas, plantains, and like the good cabbage and everything with it. It's like, those are like, that's what we have here. We don't really have like that South kind of barbecue. We don't really have like baked beans and potato salad kind of barbecue. Like we have rice, beans, yuca, plantains, like all of that stuff I think goes so good with barbecue too. Garlic, you know, like all of that flavor like works really well together. And that's kind of like, for me, like I want barbecue that's a little bit less heavy. I'm not gonna say any other words than that.
Yeah.
Just a little less heavy. You know, like it's not light at all. Don't get me wrong. But like it's got like a good punch to it, some acid, some spice. It's got sides that are gonna complement it nicely without being like real sweet or real fatty. You know, and like it like actually is a nice meal. You can eat it outside in hot weather and enjoy it, you know? Especially if you have a little bit of that Birdie's hot sauce on there. Stuff will light you up.
No, I love that. Speaking of sauces, we had the mango scotch bonnet and mango habanero.
Oh.
That was great. We literally tried everything, man. It was amazing. The cabbage salad and the side game is top tier, bro. It's top tier. The coconut peas.
We get a lot of that stuff from Marchand Mill. Like we bring it down from Edisto, and like we buy their rice, we buy their peas, we buy their red peas, their white peas, the Carolina Gold rice. Like we serve like really good product in our restaurants, like Demkota beef and Compart pork. Like we're buying the same level of quality that I was purchasing when I was a chef in a white tablecloth restaurant. And like I'm not trying to like say that I don't do much, but like we start with good groceries.
Yeah.
And that's why our food honestly is the level it's at, because like you can employ a technique of a certain level, but if you don't start with good inputs, then you're only going to achieve a certain level, you know? So like for us, we want to buy good product, be respectful of it, simple prep, keep it fresh. And like, you know, we have a really good value because of that, you know, all of those things in our pricing, you know, for what we charge, like you get good food. It's quality food, you know, like, yeah, all good stuff.
I agree, because once it's fairly priced. It is amazingly priced for everything.
Right.
Also, you like me, you know when you can taste the shortcuts.
Right.
There's no shortcuts. That's all quality. The turkey breasts, amazing. The ribs, amazing. The brisket, amazing. There wasn't anything that was not a hit. It just, the cornbread. Chewy's on the camera right now, but that cornbread did some things to him.
That's my good buddy Tony's recipe, and my wife kind of perfected it. My wife Siobhan has worked with us since we opened the restaurant. She's amazing and contributes so greatly to our success. But yeah, the cornbread's kind of like a family recipe, but we used to make it with brown butter. We get good cornmeal. We get Jimmy Red cornmeal from Marchand Mill also, and we used to make it with brown butter, but then we were trimming so much brisket and making all this brisket tallow, and I started using brisket tallow on my buns when I was toasting buns. And then I was like, what if I swap some of that into my cornbread and back out some of the butter? And like the results were amazing. And so like we wanted to like start playing with that a little bit more. And we're like, this is an incredible stuff. But yeah, those are like all the little things that like, there's a lot of like brain work that goes into those things. And it's like seemingly a little simple flat piece of cornbread that doesn't have a lot of like big visual going on. And then you eat it and you're like, oh, this is rich, and it's like got that good sweetness because we use cream corn in it. It's got good cornmeal, so it's got that like deep flavor, and then that savory note from the tallow.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's actually gonna make me want to go eat a piece of cornbread right now.
Just bring back 2 pieces now. Just bring back 2 pieces. No, everything hit, and I have to say, because we hit that during the day, then I didn't know this, but you guys also owned Juicy Cocktail, so we went by there last night, and literally shout out to Josh, amazing.
Jeez, I didn't know.
Yeah, we went through like again half the menu of all the drinks there, and it's just everything is intentional. Like there's no waste. Like a lot of places try to fluff it up to give you more.
Wow.
I love juicy because it is small, it's intimate, it's like a 24-seater, right?
22.
You're right there.
It's like a little hole in the wall.
But it's amazing.
The drinks and the craftsmanship that goes into the drinks there, what we wanted to do is just like, we have a bar at Tropical, but like, you know, it's like a little bit of a busy restaurant bar. And we were looking at the space downtown for the barbecue market, and there was a hair salon that they had just left. And we were there touring the restaurant space, and my partner Jason looked in the window next door and he goes, "This would be a perfect bar." And I said, "All right, fine, I dare you. I double dare you." And so now we have a bar also, but like they're getting a lot of attention also. We're starting to get some reviews and some write-ups and press and all that. But like the craftsmanship and sourcing, like there's so much goodness here. Like we're gonna be in mango season pretty soon, but like Jabota Caba and stuff like that, we're doing like a lot of good fruits. Like I was there the other day and Josh had fresh cacao.
Oh, wow.
And cut it open and put lime and tahini on it, and I was eating those like cacao nibs like right out of the shell, and I was like, this is like an incredible experience. And we have like the Japanese shaved ice machine, they call it kakagori.
We saw that. I was like, I almost want to order the Blueberry Bay, just to get it, just to see the motion.
Yeah, like those are things that are like so Florida, you know, like, and we're just trying to like lean into that in a way that's like, you know, people want a drink that's like stiff and not too sweet.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of work that goes into the drinks to make them like, you know, right, the perfect balance to where they're craveable, or you'll have a second drink, you know, so like nothing's too sweet and nothing's like, we don't work with much sugar. We work with a lot of fruit and a lot of good spirits, but not syrups as much, you know, and like we don't like deal with like a lot of sodas and stuff. We might have some ting.
Yeah.
But like we don't really do like, you know, like if you want something with like Coke or whatever, like we're not really good at that.
What I know, I've got to say, we're there at the bar and this lady comes in and she's like, "I need a Red Bull," and I can't remember her name. I don't know if it's Amanda. She was actually the short one. How did you already know who I was talking about? And I didn't even tell the story. But this lady barges in, like cuts through two people, like, "I need a Red Bull." She's like, "We don't have that." She turns around, she's like, "Okay, well, I need a Monster." She turns around, "We don't have that either." She turns around, like, "Oh, I need a Bud Light." She's like, "Yeah, we don't have that either. We got something simpler." And it just seems like just keeps striking out.
Yeah.
He's getting frustrated, like, this isn't what you think it is. You're not going to get that here.
Right.
And I love that you're authentically yourself,
Right.
through all the brands, no matter who you're serving. It doesn't shift.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to become who we are, you know, and that's like when you're in a small space, like you're going to specialize more,
Right?
you know, like if you have a big space and you need to do volume and you need to create all those channels and have that level of appeal, then that's a different mission. But like we're trying to have something that's like very curated and specific, and, you know, like I think that that's kind of like what good hospitality is like we want to kind of get into a corner and like really get really good at that. And like, you know, barbecue is the thing. You know, the cocktail at Juicy is the thing. The other thing that some people might say we're good at is burgers. And at the Tropical Smokehouse, like we've got such a burger following that we just like are about ready to like, the stove itself is literally like warping. We're cooking so many burgers there. We've gotten so busy. I lived in the neighborhood for like 7 years, and I was like, there's just not a great burger here on the strip.
Yeah.
When we open, like, I just want to have a burger that's just like a good cheeseburger, and nothing like, you know, like nothing more than that. And now, like, there's some days this season that we've sold over 200 burgers off of that little. It's like a 24-inch flat top. We did 200 burgers more than one occasion this year, and we're like, we don't know whether we should double the price. We don't know what to do. Like we just like, you're just getting like lit up with burger tickets, but the barbecue sales are going uphill with it. So like, you know, that's really like the burger is the thing that we did. That's like, we want to hit that note of like familiarity and comfort and craveable. Like, you know, we're not trying to be like snooty, you know, like we want to just have stuff that's like dope. We wanted to have dope shit, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like something that really like worked out well for us was like the burger, but like I make the bacon for the burger, you know, like we kind of do our own pickles for it and stuff like that. Like the work goes into it. It looks simple. We buy good beef. You know, we buy the same potato roll everybody else does because it's the best potato roll that you can commercially get. You know, not a lot of secrets. It's just like, you know, sear the meat good. That's the real secret.
No, but it's intentional. Like you said, you buy good beef, you start there, and then your hands are on the elements.
Yep.
In-house pickles, you make the bacon.
Yep.
It's all intentional. Yeah, you can give everyone the same ingredients, but not everyone's going to pay the same level of detail in it.
Well, that's like those, in culinary school, they do these competitions called blind baskets, and you basically just get a box of random stuff. And sometimes they'll do them, everybody gets the same basket, but like no two things come out alike. And it's really just like it's the influence that you put into it and then the technique you apply to it, what makes it that good. And like, I love to go out and get really inspired and go out and eat and travel. Like I drove all the way up and, you know, I went all the way to Hemingway by myself and ate Scott's, and I was like, I get it now. Like, this is what the whole hog experience is.
Everyone has to make that pilgrimage. They have to make
good. I was peeking through the windows of the pit room, and they saw me, and they're like, hey, come in here. And I was like, what? Really? Can I come in?
Whoa.
I mean, but it's like, they're so good at what they do because they've done it so many times. Such a specific way for so many repetitions, you know?
Bro.
We're about to get lit up by the show, so.
We are. So before this madness happens, where can people find you? How can they support?
eattropical.com. And you can come to our restaurants, 3815 South Dixie Highway and 206 South Olive Avenue here in West Palm Beach.
Right on.
Smoking sunshine, baby.
Love it. Thanks for the sit down, brother. I'm glad we finally caught up.
I appreciate you. Yeah.
Anytime. See you guys next time.
Hey guys, I'm back. So, what did you think? How was it? Do you agree with some of the topics that we talked about? Do you feel like we need to change a few things? What is it? What are the feelings there? I really want to know. I really want to share a lot more of my barbecue buddies with you guys and open your mind up to various forms of people's various takes and just what it takes to go there. Rick didn't stop at barbecue. You heard he opened up an amazing place called Juicy Cocktail. Great crafted drinks with so much detail implemented into it. So we're going to have a couple more of these coming out, and we're switching to a whole new format, so hope you enjoy it. Hope you do. We're hoping to come at you guys more than once a week. So we're going to start off with twice a week and going forward. Got a lot of fun surprises coming, but until then, make sure to tell a friend to tell two friends. I'm Rasheed Philips, your host of This Week in Barbecue, and I will see you guys next time.